Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Igaga, and this is your favorite show, Men. This particular Wednesday, we're going to talk about sexual harassment. Now, there's been a lot in the news about a certain young man who some people are saying the judgment has been a bit too harsh for him. Others are saying he's getting what he deserves because sexual harassment is sexual harassment. Now, tonight we're just here as men to talk about the issue of sexual harassment because it's a very, very, very thin line. And not that because you're an expert on sexual harassment, but we'll start with you, Stefan.
Yeah.
I mean, because you've been very vocal about this young man who got into trouble with a certain MP because he was pursuing her. According to him, he was pursuing her. Now, when it changed to harassment, he also doesn't know, right? A lot of people are saying that this lady had options. She could have blocked his number.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, she could have done so many things with her phone, but she continued engaging with him. So, can we say the moment he was told no, even over the phone, he should have stopped? Or can we say she's the one who ought to have put an end to it? And I'll tell you where I'm coming from. When I was on campus, and I finished, because that was a long time ago.
You are stalking some girls.
No, there's some girls who I bumped into later in life, and they told me that I was a slow chap. And you asked them why? I said, yeah, I just said no once and you bounced. And that's when, and then she walks off like that, and I'm looking and saying, hey, so you mean, had I insisted? Hope my wife is not watching.
Sorry.
So you see, as men, there's a lot of confusion, as in, where does it begin and where do I stop? Is no, or is it meant to be?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or come on, should you be a man and pursue?
You know, I think there are bloodlines when it comes to sexual harassment. And in regards to what you said, you know, women, like when you're sexually harassed, the argument is that, you know, if it is not reciprocated, then it becomes sexual harassment. But this particular person did not reciprocate. Like, she kept quiet, so obviously the dude kept, you know, sending the messages. So like I feel like, you know, women should be very clear on their responses. A no should be a no.
Yeah. End of story.
Yeah.
Chris, when is a maybe a no, or should, as men, the moment she says no, that's it? Be like, then you end up in my situation where somebody starts telling you that you were slow.
Well, I feel for you, Peter. So yes, Peter, we should. Oh man! But then okay, but then I have this deal. But then anyway, no. So really, I think it's the thing about this whole matter is, and why it's a bit tricky is because we need to ask ourselves, when do you have consent? Because where there is consent between two adults, you can't call it harassment. Proposal to pursue, consent to be pursued, it's a different matter. That's courtship. Yeah. Proposal to pursue, reluctance
to be
towards being pursued, it's in the middle. Consent, proposal to pursue, refusal for pursuit. If you continue, it's harassment. So my question then, so there is the consent, but then there's a next level of harassment. So I in my mind's eye, harassment is more than once. It's like, I said no, then you try again, I say no, and you insist. Yeah. I think then that's harassment. So, Peter, I think the second time which you missed would not have been harassment.
You should have kept going.
No, you could have just checked again, and Because you see, this is a very dicey thing.
Yeah.
It's your proverbial Peter likes Karamoja in these matters. Because
I don't know why you keep
he
mentioning
keeps on quoting the Karimajo who chase the girls and pin them to the ground.
Interesting society.
Yeah, so he likes going to Karamoja. But I think that what courtship is like depends on a society, but also is generational. Right? It's generational, and we need to think about it this way, that the way courtship is interpreted by our MP lady, who is much older than this boy, all right? If an agement was pursuing her, the way to read the no is different from the millennials read for the no. All right? And it's a very interesting conversation when you stop to think about it. When you so history and the way particular generations interpret courtship is seen in the music that rules the day. So the Bonnie M's and that music ABBA and back in the day, you know, it was very poetic and non-direct.
Of being spicy.
It was non-direct about love. When the MJ generation came in, and there was a bit of crouch grabbing and a bit like, so it's beginning to get more direct. By the time it gets to the Beyoncés of this world,
And R. Kelly.
I mean, R. Kelly does I Believe I Can Fly, then he does a bump and grind song, and you're like, my God, what's with this guy?
You know, I'm surprised that this guy knows all this.
Yeah,
you know bump and grind.
absolutely. So hey,
Moving on swiftly.
no. Can I tell you what? I one of the things I must do well in order to be relevant in this society is
Acquaint yourself?
is to have a great understanding of the culture in which I serve. It's very important, my man.
That's for another day.
Yeah, but then, so by the time you get to the music these guys listen to, dude, there's nothing direct. It's actually about it's the act itself. So when you have a kid whose psyche has grown up with the music they listen to, he sees a lady, he sees flesh. He's already undressed her and he's with the act. And so he's sending porn to this MP who is coming from maybe the Michael Jackson era or ABBA, where you have to be indirect and, you know, use a lot of innuendo and that kind of thing. So first of all, from how I see it, there was a clash of generations and the interpretation of what courtship is. But also I think that that dude had no tact, man.
But listen.
Just before we get you, Baji, you're in a grey suit. Okay.
Yes.
Very, very,
is that
very,
grey or brown?
It's greyish.
For the first time.
You see, that's what I'm saying. There's that grey area. You see, it's in between. No,
This is grey, by the way.
Are women responsible for creating such grey areas? Such that, can we say, can we blame the women to some extent? Okay, because I know that's a very, very, very thin line, but to some extent, such that by the time, because I like to believe a lot of men are not crazy. By the time a man starts to pursue, he has seen some level of interest, and he's seen an opportunity. Some people, these guys call it a gap. Okay, he's seen a gap.
Why is it that everyone keeps referring to?
Your generation knows that.
I'm not from this
This
generation.
is when we
I'm not from
celebrate.
this generation.
This is when we celebrate.
Yeah. So are the women responsible for creating that gap? Because I mean, the man sees a gap, then when he wants to go through, it's closed, and then he's told, "Okay, dude, you're harassing me."
You want
I'm
me
not throwing you under the
you
bus.
want me to answer this question on national TV and be stoned by women? You're a very tricky man. I think the challenge, many times I have had conversations with men. The challenge many times is in the way women communicate. Really. The man scratches the surface the first time and the woman says no. So the dude makes a U-turn and then the woman laughs. Why are you going away? Who has asked you to go? Then the woman says, but you said no.
Yeah.
I am going, but why have you just, you are not interested? So sometimes the guys have learned how to scratch hard. You say no the first time, they come back the second time, they will come back 10 times until you are sure that the door is actually locked using a mahogany wood.
No, don't use mahogany. Mahogany fell. So use another one.
Okay.
Metal maybe.
Metal, yes. It's locked using metal. So, but I wouldn't want really to place it solely on women, to say women are to blame for this. I just want to put it in the context of society. Unfortunately, our society has made it that it is most times it is the man who asks. Most times it is the man who pursues. So sometimes we pursue unwilling prospects, unwilling targets. So when the target is unwilling, the target is not interested, and you keep pursuing, then it's harassment.
Yeah.
And then of course in this particular case you are quoting, it feeds into what Chris said, the generational gap. The current gap is bang bang.
Yeah.
For us, we come from the old generation where really you have to pass Chris's garden and you steal flowers and you come with them and you say I bought them, when actually you didn't buy them.
I don't believe in that generational ish, because I listen to a lot of music from back in the day, and they're very direct. Let me give you an example of songs, Mourn and Groan. Huh? Yeah, these are songs which were done in your time. There's so many songs.
Dude, that's not my time.
Listen,
What's wrong with you?
Listen. Okay.
That Mourn and Groan by whom?
Those songs are very direct. You cannot compare like some of the lyrics that were released back in the day. The lyrics
Stefan, Marvin Gaye, when he did Sexual Healing.
Sexual Healing, for example.
No. So do you know? Do you know?
Sexual Healing.
Wait. Sexual Healing was so out of his time. It was too much.
Yeah.
It caused so much outrage that, do you know who killed him? His very father shot him dead. Okay?
How can you produce this music?
Yeah, like I will kill you myself. All right? But sexual healing in this generation is not a problem. The truth is actually that in my view, love and courtship and wooing, the whole art of wooing a woman has been lost over the generations, that now it's about I like you, you like me, and you're not even in the bed covers, you're behind the club or something.
Chris, then can we then say
what are we doing?
That the women are stuck in the old generation and men
No. That's not that.
You see the other challenge, which it's not a challenge. Society has also evolved, and some of the issues that women never knew that were crimes, now they have been defined by the law as crimes. Those days, those older days, a man would pursue a woman for 10 years and they end up as husband and wife. Today you will be, out of the 10 years, the 9.5 you will be in Luzira.
You know what you're saying is so true. Like,
yes.
Are we on the verge? Are we on the borderline of getting rid of flirting, for example? Someone who grew up back in the day, the flirting was, you woo this chick for a long time. There are certain things you will say, but right now you cannot say them. They'll say that it's sexual harassment. Then there's one thing I wanted to say about a reciprocation from women. Most women don't have like a no, like a straight no. Like, I'll give you an example. You're in a bar, and a guy sends a drink to your table. You take the drink, you drink it, he sends another bottle, he sends a third bottle.
That is an invitation for...
And basically you've opened the door for this guy. So in the evening or in the morning, when this guy approaches you and tells you, can we go to my place? You'll get so pissed. Lady will get so pissed. But you open the door.
Help me understand backward here. Because that doesn't make any sense for me.
Let me explain.
We need to get into break. As soon as we get back, you will decipher it for Chris. Now, we're here at the Blue Skies Hotel talking about sexual harassment. When does it stop being consensual? What did you call it?
Consensual, yes.
Yeah.
Consent.
Consensual.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, when you have consent to pursue.
Pursuit, yes.
Yeah.
When does it stop being consensual pursuit and become sexual harassment? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back from the break. In case you just joined us, you're just in time for Stefan to educate Chris about
Okay.
bar approach.
And let me.
Now, don't forget, we need to talk on this show. Go to your Facebook handle, start talking to us. Go to your Twitter handle, start talking to us. Go to our Facebook page, like it, and let's engage in the discussions going on there, including this one.
Okay,
Yes.
let me explain to Chris.
Yeah.
You know, most guys, you know, and you know, especially the older clique of guys, the guy will go to a bar. You know, he has his money, he's good, and you know, he wants to woo one of the chicks. You know, the chicks that go out in cliques. So what he does, he orders for a bottle of liquor and sends it to that table. Now it is your decision as
there's
a
a group of
lady,
chicks.
and there's a group of chicks. Now it's your decision to accept it or to send it back. But most ladies, and that's why I keep saying that, you know, if you're broke, don't go out. Most ladies will accept this, and in that, you know, you have opened that door for this guy, whether you like it or not. This guy, that is like that is like communication. He'll send another bottle, and then at the end of the night, when this guy approaches like you and is like, "Hi, what's up?" You know, like, "Can we go to my place?" You get pissed off.
Go to your place because I drank some. Okay, so wait. I don't understand backward, but let me just break this thing down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see a drink.
That has been sent to you.
Okay. I don't know who has sent this.
No, you know, like
You know,
no,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
the waiter.
Yeah.
When you ask the waiter,
Where
where
has
does
this
this come
come
from?
from? Yeah.
They always point.
Oh.
That guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris, the backward is
Yes.
What are you talking about?
when you buy for a chick a drink, the waiter who is serving her will point and say, the man in red
Is the one who's bought you
bought."
liquor.
So she will look at you.
So there's a group of girls
Yes.
who have taken this drink
No.
together.
You send it to a target.
Listen.
He knows
Send
his
it to a
target.
It can
target.
even be sent to one person, one lady. Okay, let's not put
So
a clique of girls.
okay. So assuming she doesn't drink it,
And
but
returns it.
her friends drink it.
But she accepted.
No.
Yes, even if she gives it to her
If-
friends, then she has accepted.
You have,
Yes.
you have opened
Yes.
the door. It is a proverbial
Oh my
proverbial saying
gosh.
of vampires. When you open the door,
Yeah.
when you accept them to enter, they will enter.
They'll enter and bleed and bite you and
go for the jugular.
so you see the bite, and this is why what's terrible, because then you're both making me drunk, so that
To make you more cooperative.
Listen,
more cooperative.
it's
So that,
the-
I mean, you
the
send me,
rule
you
of the
send me,
hand.
you
This
send
is
me,
the-
you send
how do
me
you frame?
three drinks, and then you want me to go in
No,
bed
listen,
with you.
Listen.
let me
Okay,
say
that
this.
is harassment.
I'll tell you.
Oh, come on.
I'll tell you what. It is harassment.
Yes.
I agree. But you see, I think also it's important for the ladies out there to also not act foolish, and I'll tell you why. Do not, when you don't jump in bed with you heard Donald Trump's poem about the snake, okay, that you pick on the road, then you cuddle it, you take it
to your
then
home.
it bites you, and then you are shocked, yet you knew it was a snake. There was a case in Kenya where one of their athletes, a very famous guy, meets this girl in a bar, says hi. Of course she's impressed, he's an athlete. He buys her a bottle of liquor, and then after that they go to his place, and then she alleged that he raped her. Now, you see, first and foremost, for the ladies out there, don't accept offers.
A
It's
no
the
should
same
be a
thing,
no.
like a ride. A lady, somebody sees a lady waiting for a taxi, he stops his car and asks her, where are you going? All of a sudden, he's going where she's going, and says, jump in. By the time you jump into that car, you are accepting.
So Peter, what you've just said is this, is that there are no good turns from any guy.
No. What I'm saying is from
Because-
strangers. When you're a child, you are told, don't talk to strangers.
yeah.
For a
So
reason.
no good turns from any guy, because so the good naturedness of Stefan here innocently buying someone a
No,
drink doesn't exist.
Guys don't do things for free, man. Guys don't do things
I wanted
Guys
to
don't do
push.
things
I
for
wanted
free.
to push that discussion
You
to that
see-
point.
you see-
because if I had said it initially, you'd have said, "No, no, we are good guys. We just
No,
buy a
you
drink."
see,
no.
Chris,
You
Chris,
see,
There's
you
no
see, the
guys.
hunters are
No,
out.
no.
Chris, there's
Let me
something
tell
I
you.
And
want
the
to say.
cards are on the
Stefano,
table.
before you come in. You know, previously,
I've learned back on.
yes, you learned back. I think previously, probably in the generation of our fathers, sexual harassment was not in the vocabulary. It wasn't there. So,
No. It was there.
okay, maybe not as pronounced as today.
I can tell you in
It was called
Uganda,
flirting.
Kwata. There was,
Okay.
you see, there's a difference between Mbozi Echikuru, because
yes,
the Bakuru have
they
agreed
have
to
agreed,
converse,
yes,
and then Okukwata, grabbing.
Okay.
It
Okay,
was there.
because, okay, so
Mulisa
now,
Manyi.
yes, those are things of rape and whatever.
Uh-huh.
Now, you see,
Particular man, not with my Uganda.
you see, when it comes to the workplace, the definition of sexual harassment is more clear. Okay, it's more clear, and in workplaces, most of the people normally are educated or enlightened, or even the human resource. Even if they are not educated, they are working in a factory just packing. Human resource does his work to try and educate them, because it's a policy. So people know the boundaries. Okay, that for instance, if your boss asked you for this, that is harassment, because it has power over you. Because normally, sexual harassment in the workplace is about power, authority. If a senior man asked a junior woman, that is harassment. But if a woman asked a senior man, that's not harassment. Then also harassment comes in once the party
So
being
can we then
harassed.
say that boy
Yes,
was not harassed?
on that context, if it was a workplace, it wouldn't be harassment. Now, when it comes to society, to the open society, it becomes harassment once the other party being pursued is not interested. Now, that is where the problem is. Me who is pursuing, how do I know that the other party is not interested? I think that is the question we need to answer for the men out there, such that they are not caught in the trap.
Back in the day, while wooing a woman, you know if this lady is interested in you, she'll be drawing something, on the
The map
ground,
of
there are certain things. But today it is so hard. Women are not clear. For example, in my era where we have social media, they'll tell you that when a woman sends you a K, the letter K, when you're chatting, basically she's telling you,
Okay.
no, it's a no.
Oh.
Like, when her messages on WhatsApp are one word or a letter, basically she's telling you, I don't want conversation with you. But women should be very clear. Should be the reciprocation should be no. I know it's a no.
Stefan, you see, guys, this thing is simple. Language is a living thing. It changes. Okay?
That's true.
That's why you have Rolex, meaning Uganda chapati, in the Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah, even border.
Because you keep border. You keep on,
Matoke, for instance, is
yeah.
there.
So the language grows.
Yeah.
Okay. So emojis, WhatsApp chat, all this stuff, it's language that is evolving. But the basic essence of people has never changed.
Yeah.
Right? So the thing is this. When you have a stalker, someone who's stalking another,
But women like being pursued.
no, not stalked.
What's it hard?
That's
what
that's
Dan's
where
asking,
you
yes.
want to-
Where's
you want
the
to
line?
know.
Yeah.
What is-
And by the way, there are also women who stalk guys. And I can tell you,
know.
it's creepy stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
All right?
I know.
It's very creepy. So sexual harassment is actually two-way. You can have a woman harass you sexually.
I pursued my wife for 12 years. So what are you saying?
No. Your
You
case
are
is
harassing
different.
her.
I think that's what he's saying.
No, so what I'm saying, no,
You harassed and
she
she
should have been encouraging it.
You
and
harassed
she's
her
not-
into
and-
submission.
and she's not in a bad place.
Yeah.
But you can actually have someone stalk you. It's unwanted attention, unwanted flowers, unwanted interest. I think that one of us on NTV Men at some point had a scenario where there was someone stalking them on Facebook and taking pictures and what do they call it? Photoshopping the picture to show that I'm with this person, and it wasn't true. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That is sexual harassment. So even women can harass men sexually.
And you know what's
Now
weird?
the point is, for me, the whole thing is this: if I have unwanted, unsolicited sexual interest, and I have clearly said no, and you are insisting, that is harassment. So for me, it doesn't matter whether you're talking about a junior and a senior, because look, if you go by your definition of workplace sexual harassment and you say,
no, it will not work in open society.
Wait, no. And you say, in the workplace, that because she's the junior, if she's the one chasing you, it's not harassment. Look, your secretary can run you out of your job. She can just harass you and stalk you until it becomes uncomfortable.
Where Chris is concerned, I actually know somebody who got into trouble with his wife because one of his juniors cracked a very uncomfortable joke with his wife and told her, "Oh, so you're the told her I'm the work wife, and you're the housewife." And first of all, the housewife did not sound very good. And she asked her, "What does that mean?" He says, "Oh, because I'm with him at work, I spend more time with him." And she marches off. His wife turns and asks him, "What was that about?"
What about?
And there was really nothing. But you know, his wife was convinced that there were issues. But you see, I gather, usually when it's on the side of men, it's taken lightly.
Yeah.
Yes. But when it's on the side of women, not that there's anything, of course it's very wrong, but then it carries more weight. But what I would like to know is, do we sometimes put ourselves in these situations, like the Mike Tyson case, where, again, the bar speak, he goes out, he has drinks with his girl, they go to his hotel room. Now, I know no is no, okay? But also for the ladies, why put yourself in a situation where you can get compromised? Like, for example, you go with this man to his hotel room and you say,
Peter,
we are just gone there for a drink.
Peter, we have
naked.
sisters.
Okay.
we have sisters. we have moms. We have daughters, and this kind of thing. And I am definitely an advocate of, first of all, what are you doing with Mike Tyson in the bar in the first place?
You forget about the hotel.
Yeah, forget about the hotel. For me, it's actually, what are you doing in the bar?
Yeah.
Okay. So I get that, and then, but then, different people will justify finding themselves in different spaces for a reason, for reasons that sometimes we may not even understand. I know a girl who whose drink was spiked. Okay, and so in living with this person, they look like it's consent, but they're incapacitated.
Let me give you an example of
let me
consent.
Finish. Let me finish. They're incapacitated. So while the onlookers see this thing and it looks like it's consent, there is no consent, and it's a bit difficult for someone to prove that.
Where this man comes from, it happens a lot to men.
Aren't you explain?
They spike their drinks.
Yes.
Jaluo, they spike your drinks.
Yes, spike men's drinks.
I come from Kampala. What do you mean?
This is a Nairobi man.
Listen.
Those are the chicks in Nairobi.
Yes, they do.
I want you to explain.
And then they
this.
rob you.
No, I want you to explain this. Me and this lady go out. We've been drinking the whole night, and we decide, go to my place, and we have sex. And then in the morning, she says that she didn't give consent. How do you explain that? Because where I'm heading with this is that they say that one of the rules of consent when it comes to ladies, if she's drunk, she's not in her right mind, so it is not consent. But both of you have been drinking. I actually would want Chris, since he's in the
No, but
And then another thing I wanted to talk about is...
Okay, we'll get to that straight after the break. Now, we are here at the Naguru Skies Hotel talking about, not a bit, it is a very edgy subject. It's sexual harassment. We would like to know, where does it begin or where does it end? Because it's a very gray area, just like Banji suit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back from the break. If you've just joined us, we're in the last section of this show that lights up your Wednesday night, and we're talking about sexual harassment. For the men out there, it's a tough one. When are you just pursuing, or when are you being a nuisance? Sometimes we don't know. Now, about what you're saying, before Chris weighs in, I'll tell you what. It's getting drunk, getting somebody drunk.
No, both of you have been drinking.
Yes, yes. So in this case, both of you, the fact that both of you are drunk doesn't make it right. All right. And ideally, she has not consented.
if you have a case of a road accident, driver of a car and a pedestrian, almost 100% of the time, the driver is in the wrong.
Yeah, actually, the driver will always be in the wrong.
Okay?
So, and that's why I
Hey,
that is in
Stefan,
society.
I'm building a case here. Car, pedestrian, accident, driver in the wrong. Pastor, congregant. Pastor is always in the wrong. Why? They have more power. Boss, subordinate. Boss is always in the wrong. Adult and
Child.
an infant, juvenile. Adult is always in the wrong.
but the guy,
Man and woman.
Man
is always in the wrong. Do you know why?
And that's where I'm going. I want to
Stefan,
explain.
Stefan,
Let the man first develop his theory.
Let me finish.
It's a very dangerous place.
and that's where I was going.
I
wanted to
know, but
explain something.
let me give it to you this way. You
Because I
see,
think men are superior to women.
Yeah, that's
so
what
you,
society thinks.
So you no, it's not what even society thinks. There's even a biblical perspective to it. The thing is this.
And you're the same guy
Do you
that
want me to
say that,
finish?
you're the
Stefan,
same, you're
Stefan,
contradicting
Stefan,
yourself.
the man
Can I
finish.
finish?
Okay.
Can I finish? You will find that even in the courts of law, it's much easier for a woman to prove that a man raped her than for a man to prove that a woman raped him. You know that.
I know that. yeah.
Okay? It's because of this power play thing that I'm talking about. But coming back to the thing, just building on to what Peter said, the question you asked about is it consent or not? It's definitely not consent, because if someone is drunk, and in the natural order of relationship between man and woman, the man is the pursuer. Most of the time, the man is the one who is pursuing, who is dropping the points to. Most of the time, if a man and a woman are drunk, most of the time it's the man who wants.
Have you ever
sex.
found yourself in a bed with a woman
let
and
me
you don't
finish.
know how you were in that
Yes.
bed?
I understand.
what
And I
is this
probably
guy
haven't.
saying?
I've not been drunk before. Stefan,
I have never
one last thing.
experienced
One last thing that I want to put forward. Then you tell us about your drunk life. But one last thing.
That was deep.
One last thing I want to say is, if you cannot propose to a woman when she's dead drunk, and then we legally say he proposed marriage and she consented, why is it okay in your mind that she consented to sex when she's dead drunk?
And
that's where your problem is.
Let me explain
Yes.
this a bit. You know, we live in this patriarchal society where, you know, a man is so, you know, he's so vat, like there's nothing that, you know, that a man should be very aggressive, and, you know, like things like sexual harassment, you know, that's why, like, when this guy, what's his name, Terry Crews, came out and he said that, you know, I was sexually harassed, people were looking at this guy like, why did it happen? You're a very aggressive guy, you should have pushed this guy out. This is because of our conditioning. Guys can also be harassed, and to his point, he's saying that, you know, a man is always ahead when it comes to chasing the prey. Things have evolved. Women are chasing men aggressively. And there's a time I said in this show, there's a point after campus where this lady planned like everything. I found myself in her bed. I found myself in her bed in the morning.
And she was 10 years your senior.
She was older than me. So you cannot say,
and do you know that by law, still, that's a case that's easy to prove that she took advantage of you?
So,
you were a kid.
Guys, I think the whole point should be that in this issue of sexual harassment, normally there is a choice, and normally there are varieties. If you're the man who is pursuing a woman, and then the messages are mixed, can't you shift target? Must it be that this target A has to go down before I move? Okay, so sometimes we also need to understand that there is an aspect of what's called sickness. Some people are obsession about these things.
Stalkers.
So you've sent the honorable message, the honorable has not replied. You send another one. Sometimes, by the way, you even block on WhatsApp and you get an SMS from a different
silence can be consent.
Sometimes actually you can even find them in front of your office, and they are waiting for you.
And the honorable is insisting they're not interested. Then you send your nude pictures.
Yes.
But listen,
that case is clearly sexual harassment.
Silence can also be consent.
So that is interested in you.
Let me give you an
have
example.
A wife.
I keep touching you here on a daily basis.
Touching? Why are you touching?
Listen, we work together, something happened.
Why are you touching me because we work together?
Listen. I keep touching your shoulder on a daily basis, and it annoys you, it pisses you off, but you let it go on. And then a year from now, you say that,
Stefan, have you just had yourself?
Let me finish this. Let me finish. A year from now, you say that I did not want him. That is reciprocation.
Did you just say that the person says it pisses? You said and it pisses you off.
And it pisses you off, and you don't say it.
What do you mean?
Listen,
you just added another line.
Tell the person this.
I'll tell you what. I think
what's wrong with this man? This
Stefan,
young man. What's wrong with you?
Come on.
I'll tell you what. There are two things. First of all, you actually alluded to it. You talked about the generation gap. There are some people who Stefan probably will touch, and they will giggle to them, they like it.
Yeah.
Then he changes his workplace, he goes to a different place, and he does the same things he's been doing.
And someone is annoying.
But she's not saying
They're not
it.
But she's not saying it.
So what I think he's
No,
saying
sometimes,
is,
do you know, sometimes you can't even believe the shock. Like the nerve
Listen,
this
let
young
me
man,
tell you
wait, don't even touch me. The nerve these young people have.
Chris,
by the way, Chris,
Where did you grow up from?
I think, Chris, you need to get out.
I am out. What I am saying is you guys are overstepping your boundaries.
There's a huge similarity between what he's saying and, because I like to believe that the young man who was busy pursuing the honorable is not a mad guy. Okay.
He's from his generation.
But yes, but he didn't see
anything
anything
wrong.
wrong.
Your mama.
He
didn't see anything wrong with what he was
not from my
doing.
generation.
That's why later he decided to step it up and say, okay, maybe
let's try nude pictures.
Yeah, this will get her attention.
By the way, guys,
he's been doing that, and it's okay.
Yeah, by the way, guys, sexual harassment, sometimes the victim doesn't have an opportunity to answer back. I have seen it in town. These congested places.
People touch the cabina.
People touch the cabina.
That is wrong. That is very wrong.
That is sexual harassment. Okay, but people, maybe the person is in a hurry, they want to go and catch a taxi, and
so they just move on.
guys
all these builders that keep throwing words at girls walking on
But
the
I'll tell you
buildings.
what, and also just to pick off what Stefan has said, could there also be a problem with men generally? Because we believe that this one size fits all, where we have the same way we pursue Betty is the same way you pursue Rose, is the same way you pursue Sally, because, and that's why Betty may have no problem with her shoulders being rubbed, okay, But then you go to Rhodes, you rub her shoulders, you get a slap. And you're wondering, but I thought it was okay.
Stefano, that's why, as you brought your birth theory, that's why also I want to bring the target theory. If you are targeting, you're a man and you are targeting a woman, please first study your target. What kind of target is it? Is it the one which will say yes? Is it the one which will say, if you want, you know? Or is it the one which will say no? Because in life we have come across these ladies, you say, can I take you 40? No.
They say no.
Can I take you next week? I'm busy. She try today. This is 2018. She says try 2080. Grace, at your age, she tells you 2080.
You mean
You just die.
But literally, the chick is saying no.
it's not going to happen, yeah.
Okay. Then you get another one who says, I will think about it. Now there you have an opportunity for going there. Have you thought about it? I'm still thinking. If you call 4 times and the person is still thinking, really?
Give it a break.
Give it a break.
You don't send nude pictures at
Yes,
that point.
you
in
don't.
time.
No pictures are very extreme.
Exactly, that's the point.
That's extreme. But
If I may,
Peter,
I dare be the devil's advocate here. Could there be a chance that we only heard one side of the story?
Yeah.
That this guy maybe, again, I like to believe he's not mad. So maybe by the time he was busy sending those nude pictures, he had gotten some encouragement.
Do you think that if the guy had evidence to say she encouraged me, she sent this, do you think he wouldn't have presented
this is
it?
an MP.
When you
No,
read
you think he wouldn't have presented it
No,
even if he's
yeah,
an
he would.
MP? Even if he's an
Sun
MP?
Tzu, the Art of War, says that before you get into a fight, if you know you're not going to win, don't start the fight. Anyway, we've reached that point where we
Peter,
really
no,
do
no,
get
no,
to
no.
wrap up this show.
Escape
I want to,
yes.
I want to
So
I
say
don't know. What
No
I'm saying is
parting
I
shot.
don't know.
Go.
It's not my parting shot.
It is,
But listen.
it is your party show. We've reached that point,
Listen,
unfortunately.
I-
Time flies when you're having fun.
I need to give a mild example of what can be considered as sexual harassment and flatting. For example, you see this lady and you know she's looking good, and you tell her, you know, you're looking nice in that outfit.
She says you're undressing.
You're looking nice in that outfit, and she, you know, and she complains that you know that's sexual harassment. And that's why I asked, like, are we?
That's not some traumatizing
No.
experience.
Are we on that level where you know we should get rid of flatting in general? So here's my parting shot. Are there bloodlines when it comes to consent and reciprocation from women? There are. There shouldn't be bloodlines. A no should be a no. If someone sends you a beer or a bottle of Jack Daniels to your table, don't accept it. Send it back. And I keep telling ladies, don't go out if you're broke. If you go out, go with your money. Men respect women who can hold their own. That guy trusts you, me. I'll not approach you. You've already told the guy, you know, I'm done. I don't want your ish. But you open the door. You open the door when you accept some of these things. Women should learn to say no. Simple.
Chris,
I
when does
think,
the bar speak?
yeah, like I don't understand this barcode thing. I'm lost. Well, you know, drunk speak. I don't know how to deal with it. But what I know for sure is that we need to know how to interpret the language of every generation, so that we can know when it's no, when it's maybe, when it's yes. Because the wisdom, the EQ, the emotional quotient, emotional intelligence, that can help a man to know that this person is interested, this one is not at all, this one is saying maybe. I need to get to know you some bit so that we can consider this. I think it's a question of emotional intelligence. Because it's a question of emotional intelligence, the lines seem blurred, but when the jury is out to look at the evidence in hindsight, the 2020 vision, everyone is able to see this was a case of sexual harassment, this one was not. But it's principally on seeing whether someone gave you a yes signal a maybe signal or a no signal. And we need to be able to decipher these based on the different generations, because this guy's generation is different from the Abba generation.
Great stuff. Banji, your parting short in 1 minute.
Yes, I'll begin from where Chris stopped. Most people who drive, say, in Kampala, they know the lights, the traffic lights, red, yellow, and green. Green is bring it on, use the road. Yellow, well, prepare yourself. You have an opportunity. Red is no. So I think what Chris has said is very important. The men should develop that kind of intelligence. You know, quoting from the book you said, General Su, in his book, The Art of War, he said, rule number 1, you must study the enemy. Study and know the character, the strengths and weaknesses of the enemy, including the signals they will use. So that's one thing. 2 is that in this world, there is no one target. If she's playing hard to get, look for another target. Otherwise, you're going to waste 2 years, 3 years, and at the end of 10 years, you get nothing out of there. Or you may end up in prison. So please look for another target. So, and then 3, and most importantly, this is for the ladies. Please help the men out there. If you are not interested, tell them in the strongest terms possible that you are not interested. Yeah. And then things will be easy.
Yes. Now, sorry, we're out of time, unfortunately. Now, ladies, my word for you is one simple thing. Just as Banji has said, a firm no. Simple as that. And with those few words, it has been a great night. Take care of yourselves. Don't harass the women, men. God bless, and we'll see you next week.